Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WPMM online radio.
Yeah, what's up? So I'm taking it like, okay. So I'm taking it like this. We back in the studio one more time. Hold on, let me fix this right quick. So yeah, we back in the studio again, man. Y'all already seen. Hopefully some of y'all caught the live from last night. It's really interesting stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah. So it's been some videos coming across my, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be on here for long, but like it's been some videos coming across my feed or whatever. And I just been kind of paying attention. And people been out here talking about, how Hurricane Helene has been blowing over or decimating, I'm gonna use the word they use, decimating sundown towns all throughout the South. It's crazy. Decimating. So you know me, I went looking and I actually did find some things. Hold on, let me see if I can. Hold on, let me pull this up. Hold up. All right, so look. Okay, now let's see. All right, so I'm gonna take this and make this full screen layout. All right, so check this out, man. So when I go in there, and you know me, I type in sundown towns destroyed by hurricane, and this is what came up. So automatically, I'm already looking at the first one. You feel me? That's me. I'm looking at the first one, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on to the first one, because biblical devastation in North Carolina. Now, mind you, this is the Washington Post. Okay, this is the Washington Post. All right, so let me see what they say. I did. I have no account, bro. What are you talking about? Free, bro. Oh, I gotta enter my email address. Hold on, let me enter my email address so we can read it right quick. They're finna send me ads out the window, but it's all good. I see my email address, so if you wanna, man, come on, man, all this extra shit. Okay. Anyway, look. The death toll from Helene climbed as emergency responders rushed to rescue residents in small mountain towns, aka sundown towns, that have been cut off from communication. That's wild. The death toll has risen. So yesterday they said it was at like 160 or something like that. And they said it was so many people still missing and unaccounted for that they're expecting that death toll to go up by exponentially. Okay, now this is in Asheville, North Carolina. Now, if you know the history of Asheville, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina was a major hub for slave trading, slave mutilation, slave oppression of the Indians now. Because now we just figured out yesterday, and we just put the history markers on yesterday, that there was not any Africans that was blended in with the people they was calling slaves. That all the melanated people was Indians that were just relocated between the American mainland and the islands and Mexico. So you might have had somebody from Georgia that was sent to Jamaica and then sent to Mexico. Now, somewhere between Jamaica and Mexico, they became an African. See what I'm saying? So the slaves were not Africans. They were Indians. So now Asheville, North Carolina was a primary hub for slave trafficking. Okay. Look at this. Local resident climbs up fallen rubble from a bridge collapse on American Thread Road near Woodlawn, North Carolina. Look at him. You think you're not going to pay for what your people have done? You must pay. The truth is going to come to the surface. You're not going to brush past it and think you're going to create this digital society where y'all can still kumbaya and celebrate Thanksgiving and all this other crap y'all been putting up, Independence Day and all this other shit, on top of the Indian backs. Don't forget that part. On top of my ancestors and the ancestors of many people that look exactly like me. That's crazy. Y'all like to call us Black, African American, Negroes, colored. It's time to get a name back. There's more to this. This is just the beginning. See, stuff like this right here happening, like right here, this is just the beginning. Helene swept through and decimated sundown towns from Florida to Tennessee. They say that the water from the raging Swannanoa River rose fast, then faster until it reached their yard. The couple fled not a moment too soon to huddle with neighbors inside a Baptist church up the hill, probably sitting on top of a mound, perhaps, still depending on the Indians, huh? On Saturday afternoon, they returned and found their home utterly destroyed. We haven't cried yet, said Beverly Eller, 68, sitting with her husband and dog in the Toyota that is not a temporary home. The other car, the Chevrolet SUV, has been swept away. We are just in survival mode. Sound like the way they was when they came over here. They were in survival mode. Towns throughout western North Carolina, including Swannanoa, were transformed overnight. Muddy floodwaters lifted homes from their foundation. Landslide and overflowing rivers severed the only way in and out of small mountain communities. Okay? These places where y'all went up there hanging Indians, slaughtering Indians, killing Indians, burning them at the stake. Yeah, it's time to pay. You know what I'm saying? And this is just the beginning. See, at the same time, they're not telling you how Yellowstone keeps erupting. Earthquakes and landslides. They're not telling you about what's going on. You must pay. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. All y'all out there that's not or the non-original, I'm gonna say it like that, to this land. And you know who you are. All you Germans and Ireland and England and Czechoslovakia and all this other type of stuff. You know you're not original to this land. So those of you that are out there and you stand against Mr. J. Trump, you are a fool by design. And the reason why I say these things is because if you're standing against this person in this hour, then you really don't understand what the prophetic vision is about. See, Kamala Harris that's a puppet. Somebody's hand is up her ass. They working, pulling the strings. That's not even a close to being considerable for a candidate. Compare Kamala Harris to presidents that we've had before, like JFK. People that were actually about something, that had actual campaigns. Compared. It doesn't even compare. You can compare Kamala Harris's campaign to George Bush, and it still doesn't compare. You can deny and deny and deny all you want. You can fight and resist and fight all you want. But until you return what has been stolen to its rightful owner, not to some foreigner that you get to come flooding across the border so you think you can give it all to them and think that it's still, no, because they're going to go right down with you. Everything that was taken from my people must be returned times 10. And the reason I say times 10 is based on the activity and the actions that your Federal Reserve has enacted on my land. Until what has been taken is returned, times 10, these curses or plagues to your people will continue to happen without cease. That needs to be understood. That needs to be understood completely and whole with fullness. That needs to be understood. Because for some reason, there are literally people out there on their side of the fence that really think they have a leg to stand on when it comes down to steal, kill, and destroy. Because only one group of people in America so far that we've identified, no, it's two groups of people so far in America that we have identified with the steal, kill, and destroy tactic. You're not going to be able to continue to pass down generation to generation land that you stole from other people, land that was given to you fraudulently under fraudulent contracts, where you signed your name on a contract that's littered with the blood of the people that was already standing there. There's no way Spirit is going to continue to allow you to keep passing down things generation to generation that your people stole. It won't last. That's literally what Jay Trump is trying to tell y'all. Just give it back to him. Because Trump knows these things are coming. Hurricane Helene is just the beginning. It's about to get crazy out here. What they say, what they always told us in church, like when they would preach us, because they would scare us so bad, like they would be like, the dead in Christ gonna rise first. We ain't never know what that meant. The dead in Christ. Christ is a bloodline. You understand me? You put that together. What do we have right now? Right now, the dead in Christ are rising. They are not going to allow you to smother out their name or smother out their history or smother out the genocide that's been done on this land. You're not going to be able to just smother that out and cover it with concrete and act like it never existed. Those days are over. The dead in Christ are rising. That's the first wave. Anytime you bury something under the ground and it wakes up and pushes up under the ground, whatever's sitting on top of it got to fall to the wayside. The dead in Christ are rising. Understand? And for my people, it's time to get on the right side of the wave. It's too many of us trying to fit into a narrative that does not include us. We're doing that way too much. We're struggling to hold on to a system when nature is literally trying to tear you away from it so that you can survive what's coming. Think about it like this. When we go back, because mind you now, we can sit up here and debate what the Bible is all day long, whatever. But one thing that I can say is prophecies that have been given throughout the timeline of that text have happened. And they're still happening. So it must be something about that text that still has something encoded in it that's pointing in the right direction. It said there would come a day like this. It said there would be a time like this for our people. And in that Bible also, when they held the Passover, they were given heads up. Hey, put this lamb's blood over your door. That was something invisible. They couldn't even see it. But whoever had the faith, guess what they did? They put that lamb's blood over their door. They didn't ask no questions, did they? Hell no. I asked no questions. And the spirit passed over those people, the Israelites. Not everybody, obviously, because even Pharaoh lost children. We got to put these things back into the proper perspective. You feel me? There is hell to pay on the land, and it will be paid. You can run, you can create robots, you can do 5G, you can go all the way up to 22G. It don't matter. The analog frequencies of nature always reign supreme. And when you have become a cancer to the land is the people. The people are crying out. We're tired of this system, standing on our backs, don't want to give us what's ours, don't want to return what they stole from our ancestors. We send our children to school and they lie to our children to set them up to fail. They call a school an institution. Then when you go to prison, they call that an institution. Okay, so you come on now. Now we're subscribed into the rules of slavery, even when they came out of slavery in 1865. The rule said you can no longer hold anybody inside of a captive slavery unless they commit a crime. Then they can be held against their will, which is slavery. Then they can be forced to do things, which is slavery. Then and only then is it okay for those people to be mistreated, mishandled, misrepresented, because it's slavery. Look who they've been railroading to slavery ever since then. Prison industrial complex that a lot of black people that look like me invested in, not even knowing that it's made for you. So you go out there invested in that prison industrial complex, and you invested in it thinking that you're standing separate from your brethren because it's your brethren getting locked up and not you, and think that ain't going to come back around full circle. This karma time. Look at Diddy. Look at all this stuff happening because there's politicians he's only a minor part of a major ring that goes all over the world of people. They all stepping down. Why? Because spirit knew enough to attack itself. Diddy hold melanin, don't he? So you on the wrong side, bro. You doing a disservice to your people. You got to pay for that. So it's going to use those people. Watch. Don't Jesse Jackson come up with something happening to him next. Watch what I'm telling you. All these people everything is a chain reaction. It's going backwards through the chain all the way to the root. Because it's time to get up out of here. This ain't going to work like this no more. These people talking like they just know that they have a forever stake in this land. You don't even belong here. Your people lied to you to get you to come over here and do a disservice to me. None of it is going to last. So anybody in the world can come stand up and let's have a discussion about this. Because I would love to be disproven on what's going to be going on. Because we can talk about how China not having no babies. We can talk about how they not having no babies in years in Europe. We can talk about all of the cattle that's been dying in Europe, all of the crops that's been dying, and tell me the world is not under plagues. And the bloodlines that traveled here from those worlds think that they won't face the same plagues. It's time to give it back. I told you before, everything that's taken from my people will be cursed until it's back at our feet. It's going to be a curse until the bearer. You ain't finna go out here and have fun with gold that came from my ancestors, but you cut my ancestors' head off and ran that blood all over the land, and now you build houses on top of it. It's not going to work like that. It don't work like that. And the Bible says it doesn't work like that. You must pay. Your enemy must pay. It's in the Bible. So you do your thing to our people and think that a stroke of a pen is going to save you from the wrath of the Most High. It doesn't work that way. The bloodlines that you're spilling, see, now I'm talking to my own people, especially the youth, the young people. If you don't change your ways, especially when it comes down to all this carrying a gun, getting ready to kill each other and cut each other out the way and doing all these deceptive things to one another to hurt each other, because just because you don't kill somebody physically, if you set them up to be hurt, if you have an evil intention towards your brother to hurt your brother, all of these things are taking you out of the wavelength of life. Now, the Bible talked about the Lamb's book of life. We heard about this all the time, that your name would not be written in the Lamb's book. You know what I'm saying? The Lamb's book of life is a frequency. It is not taking your physical first and last name and putting it down on a piece of paper. It's a frequency. Okay? So a Christ held a certain frequency that the Pharisees and the higher up people did not want in the land, because it changed the brain waves of the people around him. It's a frequency. Every time you spill the Most High's melanin without the permission to do so, Because all throughout that Bible, it said that the children of God never have to lift a finger against their enemies. That's what it says. You don't even have to lift a finger. All you got to do is just speak. So now, but you pick up the gun, you aim the gun at your brother, and then you shoot that gun. You release that gun. You have intention to harm or to end somebody's life. You think you're not going to pay for that? You think your bloodline going to continue on in this land? You understand? So when our grandparents and elders used to tell us that we need to get our soul right and all this other kind of stuff, these are the things that they were trying to protect us from. Because once the frequency of your mind is hijacked and it's turned to a whole nother dynamic, then you become a different creature entirely. Now somebody else can program that frequency to make you wear their curse while they put on your birthright. This is how we can listen to a video that tells us the magnitude of the Mayan culture and then point us directly home of where we are, and then turn around and go outside and still see the exact opposite of that wavelength in magnitude. This is what it is when we allow somebody else to tell us how to think and what to use our mind for. This is the result of letting somebody else tell us what to think. This is why I ask me, be like, bro, how you come to that conclusion? I don't know. This is my conclusion. After everything that I've been shown, all the different experiences that I've had and the situations that I've been in, up and down, through, over and under, from a youth till now, this is my conclusion. And with everything I said, I have yet to see somebody prove me otherwise. This is the conclusion. The Indians of America carry the bloodline of the Most High. They are the original people on the planet. That's me. That's Alabama. That's Mississippi. That's Georgia. That's Florida. That's North and South Carolina. That's Tennessee. The Indians of America are the original people of this planet. This is why when you read it in your text, they like to describe those Native Americans over there as if they're the original people, but they're not. And if you pay attention, they hardly ever call them American Indian. They can't use that. There's a curse with that. You can't put on somebody else's name, especially the people who are the origin of all world magic. It's time to take everything back. It's time for what they say, how the practitioners be saying, you got to take your energy back. That's what the practitioners say. It's time for us as a whole nation to take our energy back. Everybody around the world has been riding our energy. They use our energy to the point of disgust. Michael Jackson passed away. You can't hardly go through China without seeing 50 Michael Jacksons. Go to Taiwan, you're going to see 1,000 of them. They're just using the energy. They put it on. It's like, oh, wow, I can, no creation from themselves, no, whatever we do, and this is not made up or conjecture. This is the actual facts. We live it every day. They can't even live around us without becoming us. Just living around us, turn them into us. That's some high frequency energy, man. Person just living around you, turn them into you. That's crazy. This whole world belongs to us. And until we stand up to claim the birthright that is ours, it will never make any sense. This whole world is ours. The whole thing. The only reason the African nobility took over that whole landmass in the beginning was because we gave them the tools to do it. We taught them how to do it. That's why it's important to go back and study the history. The true history, not this made up shit they be giving us in school. The true history of what's been written down, what's been documented, what has been transcribed over time. The truth. Then you'll see. How can Africa be progenitor to anything when we had to take them well over 600 of our crops from America in order for their land to begin to produce food for them? There's no way you're the dominant one on the world. It don't work like that when you're pretty much always behind. Look at them now. They still have tribes that dress in tribal garb. They're behind. They're not ahead. They're behind. That whole ahead thing is an illusion. You go back over the last 200 years and you tell me a time that America was not on top. Even England, what they do? Oh yeah, we the number one. They in the textbooks they tell us England was the number one army in the world. Man, come on, man. The only reason they said that is because they failed to mention the Indians of America. Had they mentioned the Indians in America, England would have not been the number one army in the world. It's time to tell the truth. It's time to tell the truth. And that's why I'm here. And that's what this channel is here for. You know what I'm saying? So these travesties happening around the world are happening because of the birthright has come to is what is it? Maturity. Like a what's the word? Like a contract. Yo, Gio, what's up? What's up? She has no campaign. Trey, what's up, my dog? See my people in here, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Share this with your folks, man. Y'all already know what time it is. But these travesties are happening because the contract or the because you got to understand something. When the European first came to America, everything was set up on a treaty basis. So they were setting up treaties with Indians left and right in order to keep the Indians peaceful. We're gonna set up a treaty with you. We don't want no war. We don't want no smoke, man. Like, just, we just here for this. We're gonna set up this treaty. But see, when you're dealing with a divisive enemy, the enemy's always looking for a way to subjugate. So if he say, man, we got these fools to sign this contract, maybe the next contract we can word it in a way to give ourselves a little bit more power. Maybe some words they may not understand. Okay? But the Indians not stupid. They're not stupid. So you can't come at them with war, or every Indian nation on this coastline gonna be at our throat. So you can't come at them with war. So you have to come at them with divisive means. You feel me? You have to come at them through divisive means, ways of divisiveness, to get in, to set your hooks in. So you get in, make them think that they're your friends, and you start marrying their daughters, the daughters of the high kings. Now look, how does this show itself to be true today? I'm gonna show you. The ones that's married to them gonna get mad, but I don't care. So look, anytime, most of the time, I'm gonna say most of the time, not anytime, most of the time that you see that there's a relationship between a Caucasian male and a black woman, the black woman is usually from the higher echelon of our women. What I mean, she has degrees and esteem and this and that and this, that. Okay, things going for herself, right? That's normally how they pick them, especially if they're a higher caliber white man. Okay, that's how they pick them. But our higher caliber men will get some of their lowest women. You see? So the same thing that was going on back then is the same thing going on now. Okay, they generals and they war heroes would come from Europe, and they would come over, and when they came over, they wanted the chief's daughter. She has the most esteem. She has the most to give, the most to take. So I'm going to marry her, and I'm going to make him think that she's marrying into a prestigious royal family from across the water. Come on, bro. But really, my whole intention is to marry into the bloodline to get y'all relaxed. Once I have children with her, y'all really going to relax. Then I can indoctrinate the children to take everything y'all got. Now, this is the thing that really raises a lot of questions, because as we all can probably speculate, from ourselves, just looking at the standard or the lifespan of the Caucasoid or the Caucasian in this time, 65, 70 years, 75 years, something like that. Okay, so we can only imagine that in that time it may have been significantly shorter. Seeing as how medicine may have been different for them and stuff like that. So because these life cycles were shorter, how were they able to keep these agendas going for so long? What drove these agendas for so long? Well, now this is where it begins to get a little bit weird. to say to say the least. You know what I'm saying? It begins to get a little bit weird, to say the least. Because in order for an agenda of this magnitude to continue on, somebody has to have a life cycle that is well beyond the normal life cycle of the everyday mankind person. Well beyond, which means they have to exist for an extended period of time, and then whoever picks up the agenda after that has to also exist for an extended period of time. Interesting. Well, again, these storms, these calamities, they're all being utilized to shake up, to stir up the dirt, recycle the dirt. If you're a farmer, then you know that when it's time to recycle dirt, that means it's time to plant new seed. You understand? You're expecting a different type of harvest this time around. So it's time to plant new seeds. Get me? So the dirt's being stirred up. Volcanoes erupting, earthquakes, mudslides, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes, ice storms. Think about it. Chaos. And they want to keep us with some type of illusion, talking about a new world order. UN talking about some, they done met, they gonna pull out of sovereignty. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Man, get out of here, man. Talking about they gonna be able to pull your children and give them vaccinations while they're in school. Well, I'll tell you, man, listen, everything that they're talking about, okay, all this stuff they're talking about is predicated towards our people. They're trying to do an ethnic cleansing. And I'm telling you what I know now, because it's been cleared, approved, and you can follow the timeline to see this laid out plainly. There's going to be a war on black. That word, the word itself, because of what it means for the landscape, there's going to be a war on black. Because they need to get rid of that. That black word identifies and still ties to the narrative of the genocides that happen all over the world. That word black, they need to get rid of it. So all the people still calling themselves black, you're contracted to the federal government. You understand what's going on, man. It's time to eliminate that. Shed that. Let all that go. You are not black. You ain't never been black. That is not a flex to be calling yourself black. It's not a flex. Only a fool would do that once you understand what's literally going on around you. I was having a conversation earlier, you know what I'm saying, that as simple as this sounds, from me saying it, it sounds very simple, but it is absolutely the most difficult thing that it's going to be for our people to do, is to release the codes that have been ingrained into our psyche. These are computer codes that we were given, a computer virus, a hijack, you feel me? And we got to cleanse ourselves of this hijack. You feel me? It's spawning itself inside of ourselves, inside of our children. Our children watch us and learn. Then we send them to school, and guess what? We've opened them up. We've opened up their mind. These children know songs. They know songs before they can talk. They know how to sing songs before they know how to talk. There's power in music. You feel me? So if all my daughter is singing is Sexy Red and Sukihana all the time, I am opening her up to that dimension. She's singing that music, chanting it over and over and over and over and over. That's opening a portal. So yes, these artists do have a responsibility for your children. If your child's singing that music over and over and over and over and over, they are opening a portal inside of their mind to pull that frequency into their life. These women talking about they getting stalked and all this other type of stuff. Yeah, you got the energy on you. That harlot, that succubus energy is on you and it's unchecked. You're not using it for the powers of good because you don't know how.
You don't even know how to control demonic entities versus angelic entities. You don't know, but you have that power, but you don't know. You feel me? So when you sit up here chanting Sexy Red over and over and over and over and over, and you open that portal, you release the succubus into your life. Now that the succubus has been released into your life, you don't know how to control it. You don't know how to utilize that energy for the good of yourself, your community, and your people as a whole. You don't understand how to use the energy. Just like a lot of these people out here calling themselves gay, but they're not gay. Most of these men out here have gone through trauma. The ones that are really, truly that energy, that vibration, that frequency are rare. And the rare ones have never been taught how to use the energy to uplift their society, to uplift their people, to uplift themselves. They don't know how to use it properly. And then the energy takes, the enemy takes the energy and bastardizes it. Now they use the media to broadcast it all over the place in the most negative, derogatory sense you can find, to where people have to fight against it. The energy of fighting against something is called resistance. When you get resistance, resistance gives you energy in the opposite direction, which is giving you more of the negative polarity and less of the positive frequency, due to the fact of having to resist in the first place. However, no pain, no gain. Okay? So the people that are meant to resist should be the people with the sharpest minds. This is why we always chose our chiefs and we chose our representation, because the people with the sharpest minds to this type of nonsense, to this type of threat, to this type of energy coming out in the world, those people were elected naturally to represent their people, because their people knew you wasn't going to slide nothing past this man. This man he's sharp. He know all of it. So if they come to them talking sideways in a contract, he going to catch it. If you come trying to emit some type of act of war, he going to set us up from a warrior perspective to where we already protected. Y'all done messed up. These things are what we're missing as a nation. We don't have that. We have people offering us up to our enemies for a paycheck. So yeah, I go out there and go tell them they're African Americans. Jesse Jackson. You feel me? Yeah, I go out there and go tell them that they African Americans now. I'll further confuse them. Al Sharpton. You understand me? All these mayors and politicians that say black people don't need reparations and all that, man. Yeah, y'all part of it. All of you. Sororities and fraternities, all y'all jumping around doing all that crap for the European, and you don't even understand that you're turning against your own people. All of y'all are part of it. It's coming for y'all. There is no getting out of this. And as we go forward into the future, remember this conversation. If you may, remember this conversation, remember the sound of my voice, because here and now, I'm letting you know that everything that is going to happen from this point forward is in an attempt to destroy the cancer in the land. The land itself is trying to return to the hands of the original people, the best caretakers this land has ever witnessed or experienced. The hands of the original people, not some foreigner coming over here forcing the land to work how it wanted to work, laying concrete all over and putting skyscrapers and all this crap up. And they going up and going against the grain with their building tactics and all this just to make a dollar. Not even congruent with nature. Now I go outside, I see bobcats and stuff coming out of the woods crossing the street because their territory done been so reduced they don't have nowhere to go. They don't even know where to go. Now there's more confrontation between people and animals that shouldn't be in certain areas. So everybody's coming to one area. Look at Pensacola. Look at Destin, Fort Walton. Look at Navarre. Everybody coming to one area, like it's cancerous, and it takes away from the environment as usual. And all they're here to do is harvest the Indian energy. Not gonna give the Indian descendants nothing for their time, but they're gonna come down here and harvest your energy. Sleeping all on top of your mounds, underground, sleeping out, going to church all over the top of your mounds, and you don't even know it. Bury your mounds, you don't even realize it. My grandma used to always tell me, hell ain't but half full. Once you realize who hell for is up.
Anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just I didn't want to come here for long, but I did want to bring that to y'all ear because I've been seeing a lot more people talking about this too. And it makes sense. These plagues are coming for y'all, man. Whole towns decimated. You know how many hurricanes that came through that corridor? You know how many hurricanes that came up through there? Over and over and over, hurricanes going right up the eastern starboard, coming right through the Gulf Coast, going right up the eastern starboard. But you ain't never heard of no town being wiped off the map. And the borders are shut down, so there's no materials to rebuild it. And you tell me that's not spiritual. You tell me that's not a spiritual move. Let's go, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see the outcome of all this. It's a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? I was told stories about how these people came and swindled my great-great-grandmother out of hundreds of acres of land. Hundreds and hundreds of acres of land. They came and swindled her with fraudulent contracts and coercion and force. I'm ready to see how all this play out, man. Because I want mine. I want mine back. I'm stingy. Call me a stingy Indian. What is it? A renegger. I'll be a renegger on this. I want my stuff back. I want my weight in gold times 10. I'm gonna keep saying that till it's real. I want my weight in gold times 10 for everything that's been done to my people. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all love for the ones that know what love is, man. I'm Luke, man. I'm gonna keep coming on here. We got to keep this thing rocking, man. Keep it going. And y'all keep y'all eyes open because it's going down. You can't hide. Notice how after this Diddy stuff, all the people start stepping down trying to run. No, sit right there. Sit right there. Sit where you was at. Don't run because you participated. It's time to come down. All of it. The illusion must fall down. You feel me? The American people must be given the chance to redeem themselves. This thus saith the Most High. Period. You will not move on and think you're going to just steal from them and keep them from. No, man. That's why Trump is trying to give everything back to us. And these people keep standing in the way. They still trying to give away the money from that stimulus package. Because that stimulus package was a package for the real Indians, for the genocide of America that they did. Trump tried to give it back. And these people come standing in the way. And now you talking about putting Kamala Harris in office, and Kamala Harris is these people that keep standing in the way. Trying to wake up, man. Anyway, I'm out of this thing, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all later on, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know what time it is. Peace.